everybody. Is this in full screen? I want to see if this is in screen and see if we're live. Yay, we came out full screen for a change. I had to play around with the orientation because sometimes my orientation takes me a while to play with, so I wanted to see if we were there. And let me change my orientation. So this way, guys, you see that I'm in my orientation. Now, this is a picture that I started working on last night from one of the Creative Haven books. So I want to just make sure that my volume's up and that everybody can hear me. I am live. Okay, my volume button's good. Yay, my volume button's good. But I want to see if I can raise up the tripod a little bit so you guys can see more of the image. Hi Sharon, how are you? I'm good. This is what we'll be working on today because I actually started this picture last night, and this color actually came out as a blended color. This is actually a result of me blending 3 pencils, and the colors that I used were from my Tombow set, the bamboo as the base color. This is the bamboo from the Tombow irritants, the cadmium orange from Faber-Castell for my polychromos, and my terracotta. Oh, congratulations on your 24th anniversary. Now I just got to let people know that I am live on the Facebook group. So I'm going to give people a few minutes in the 2 Facebook groups. Hi Lindsay. I'm letting people know that I am live. I'm just letting people know that I'm live on YouTube so they can follow me. And then this is my, I have a couple of groups I'm in, so I want a few more people to come before they see the new stuff. So hi Lori. None of my mods are here, which bothers me. So we got 10 people watching, so if you guys are lurking, let me know. So, you know, there's been a lot going on this week for, you know, in the coloring community and the community in general. You know, I normally don't talk about it because usually, but the things that I've been seeing come out, I'm actually a little saddened by them because it makes me feel bad for those people affected by it. You know, anytime tragedy happens or anything bad happens to somebody, I feel bad for them, you know. You know, and I feel bad for both sides of the equation, you know. It's just a sad situation in general, and that's all I'm going to say about the situation. Some of you know the situation, some of you know what's been going on, so, and I don't really want to be part of it, but unfortunately I got dragged into it because a lot of the people who were involved in this mess are my friends. And, you know, I am very protective of my friends, you know. The one thing that I like about this is a community of people, and we all, you know, we all know each other. We all talk to one another. Regardless of who we are or what we do, we talk to one another. So who wants to see the new books? Before we start coloring, who wants to see the new books? Because I don't have mods right now on the thing, but I have a lot of new books. So, no, that's not new, that's not new. That's not new, that's not new. You know, I actually filmed some flip-throughs of my new books that came in. You know, I am, you know, oh, Sammy's here, guys. So I want to show you guys some of the new books that I ended up getting. I actually am supposed to get 2 books from the Czech Republic, but they have not come yet because they're stuck in customs. Yes, they are stuck in customs, Sammy. Of all the things. So I want to show you guys some new books. So you know, it makes me, I love this community deeply, and this community has given me so many things. So I have the charger in my phone, so that way we won't. The first book that I did, I actually just finished filming a few flip-throughs, guys. So I filmed a lot of flip-throughs, so I have enough flip-throughs filmed to last me probably the next 12 weeks. You know, it's a complicated situation, Sammy, because both sides have their opinions and their stories. So it's a very complicated situation, and you know, I'm more inclined to believe people that I've known 2 years rather than someone I know for a month. So to me, that's a big time thing, you know. And I'm just telling people, be careful of things you do in the community, because they do come back. We all have Facebook groups. We all have things in general. So just be careful about what you do in the communities and who you talk to in the communities. That's all I'm going to say about it. Because, and I would also like people to treat people with respect in the chat. If this person comes on the chat, I don't want them to feel ganged up on. I don't want them to feel bullied. So let's treat it, as long as everybody is, you know, going forward, I want everybody to feel welcome and included here. So as long as everybody is considerate and polite, and we don't start arguing, and we don't start, I want people to be kind and considerate if this person comes into the chat today. I doubt they will come into the chat, but I want everybody to treat this person with respect and kindness. And if they're courteous and they're kind, I have no problem with them in the chat. So I just want everybody to be kind and considerate if this person comes in the chat. I don't want people ganging up on this person. And Robin knows who it is. I am not going to mention names because I think that's rude. Okay, so let's get on to positive things and good things. That's all I'm going to say. And it's a complicated situation, Sammy. So the first book that I got was a new Creative Haven coloring book that I hadn't seen before. It is called Seashore Scenes coloring book by Dot Barlow. I have filmed a flip through of this one. It is a really nice one because it has a bunch of like beach scenes and scenes by the seashore. You get a little thing like this, a picture of a thing. I'm just going to show you some pictures from it. Then you can get a nice little beach one, a nice little beach villa with people overlooking the shore and the scenes. Get something like this. These are just some of the scenes that you can get in this book. And unfortunately, you see my computer in the way, so. Fortunately, my computer's in the way, guys, so I don't have a choice in the matter. Of course, I don't have my green mat out today because I had an accident last night. I accidentally spilled something that I shouldn't have spilled, and that's really bad when that happens. So, how's your eye, Robin? I hope your eye is doing better. How are you feeling, Robin? I know you've had a complicated... The next book that I got was the new Fairies coloring book called Magical Fairies coloring book by Marjorie Sarnett. Now this is the newest Creative Haven book, like some of you. So see, this is really pretty. I like this one. I could use this one in August because it has a cat. I'm so glad to hear your eye is doing better. And this is a nice one with the unicorn in it. So. Then I got this one, which I also happen to have done a flip through of, guys. Victorian Darlings. I was enabled by who were the two people? You know, Sammy, I didn't want to be involved in this drama at all, but somehow I got involved because people were coming to me, and I was like, I was in stunned disbelief. You know, it's one thing when it's private, and you know, my whole thing is when people get involved in drama like this, it's really sad because this was supposed to be a happy hobby, and you know, we as colorists try our best not to get involved in drama. So, and it's a sad thing when drama happens in the community because there are people involved, there are feelings involved, you know, and I don't want anybody to ever feel like they're not included. Lindsay, but sometimes things, you know, it's supposed to be a happy place, and I don't want to talk about this anymore. So let's move on. This is a really pretty book because I got enabled to buy, who did I see, who enabled me with this book? Was it Audra and Olivia Ashley? Oh my God, Robin. I love therapy to a point, but sometimes, you know, my therapist was like, when she had over, my therapist, I talked about it with my therapist as well. So, you know, let's try and be happy and move on because I think there's been enough drama this week. And I have enough drama in my own life to consume me. So, hi April, how are you? I love April. Everybody, April's here. So this is Victorian Darlings by Hannah Lynn. I had seen this, a few people in the Facebook groups show some pictures from this book. So this is, I filmed a flip through of this book actually. Today, so in the next few weeks you will see a flip through of this book as well. So all these books I did flip throughs of, so they will be up on the channel eventually. So I usually, when I'm home on Fridays, I film a few flip throughs because then I have enough stuff to give you over the next few weeks. So that's really. My Ortiza water brush pens have not come either, so I'm expecting that. I am expecting 2 books from the Czech Republic. So I did that one too. We're looking at some of the books that are new, so we're doing the new coloring books first. And I did film a video today of my book haul from Authors in the City. I just haven't uploaded it yet. So this is a Forest Diver coloring book, and this one is really cute. It's called Keepers of the Enchanted Forest. It's a really cute book. And it has black pages in it, so you can color with marker in it. I don't have my mat today because I had a little accident with my mat. It wasn't meant to happen, so right now is going to be getting a clean in my mat. Oh, that's great. Momo Girl is beautiful. Guys, it is one of my favorite books, but I need a palette. I think Momo Girl and Serene are my 2 favorite books right now, but I want to show you guys something that's happening to one of my Korean coloring books, if I can find it, but I'm like not happy about this happening, and I did pay quite a lot of money for it, and I'm not happy about it because the pages are falling out every time I try to color in it. So this is the new Jade Summer coloring book, Country Farm coloring book. So this has like a lot of pictures that you would expect to see in like something like a country charm book, or, you know, it reminds me very much of a Creative Haven book. I like house pictures. Suddenly I'm like into colored house books and very scenic things as of late, but maybe that's just because I'm on that mood swing where I like to color that. You know, depending on my mood or what I'm coloring, it depends on what I'm doing. And then I got the new Akiko book. And those who know me know that I love coloring people and faces. So, you know, look how pretty that is. I really like this style of coloring. Anne is the one that introduced me to Akiko. You know, I had seen some of these faces and thought they were adorable. I am very good at navel, Sammy. And then I saw a book on Dee Dee's coloring book selection, and I'm like, oh, Dee Dee, why'd you have to show that book? Like, I've been watching Dee Dee's 4-hour coloring book collection book in parts. I'm now at I think I have 1 hour left to watch in her thing, and then there's a book that I really, really want from her that I see in her collection that I'm like, I have to have this because it's fantasy-based book and I don't have it in my collection. So for me, it's really different. So that's some of what you can find in the Akiko book. Now this book, I love coloring in this book. This is when I first met you. But as I'm coloring in it, look what happened to the pages. They just simply fell out of the book. So I'm not happy about that. And this is what I'm currently working on right now in that book. This was done with Tombows, Prismas, or teasers. So I want you guys to see, look, the pages are falling out of it, and I spent a good $20-something on this book. So I'm not happy about that. The books are falling out. You know, and I bought this from Etsy, and normally from Etsy the books don't do that, so I'm not entirely happy about that. So this picture is from Summer Scenes coloring book. And this is from Teresa Goodrich. So, what's nice about this is the pages. So, for this color, I did 3-color blend. And this is a Tombow Irritant pencil, and this is the bamboo, which I used as the base color, and I went really light with it. Now, the trick with the Tombows, guys, when you're coloring with Tombows, is that they can layer, but you have to go really light because they're a harder pencil, and some of the pencils are more muted than others. So as you can see, and don't worry guys, I have my extender. So, and then I used the cadmium orange, and I used the Polychromos terracotta for the blend. Now for the dark frames of the windows, I'm using another Tombow pencil called cedarwood. So these are a harder lead pencil. So I want you guys to keep in mind that those are a harder pencil than the others. So keep that in mind. So now what I'm doing with orange is just I'm going over that as my second layer. But I did an orange thing here, so. And I'm doing this as a 3-color blend. Now, you can layer with polys, but a lot of people think you can't because you have to go light. And you know, for me, going light was work to learn how to go to light. But I learned how to go light with my Prismas first because they're soft to pencil. But once I learned how to go lighter with my Prismas, actually it helped me go lighter with everything else. And there was a month where I just colored with Prismas, just so I could really learn my Prismas and play with my Prismas. I also learned how to layer with my Prismas because I watched other people do it with their videos. So keep that in mind when you're using the... Hi Kimberly, how are you? I mean by a harder pencil that it feels harder, it goes down harder. Where is my sketchbook? So I can show you what a harder pencil is. I don't have my sketchbook here, which is a shame because that's what I use to do all my examples. And I'm trying to find my sketchbook and I don't see my sketchbook, which is a shame because I don't have other paper to use on it. Unless I take paper from a printer. Here, I'll take a sheet of paper from my printer. And this is not the best paper to do it on to show you what a harder pencil is. Now, this is a harder pencil because it's harder to hold. It feels harder. So when you do a... See, with harder pencils, it's like... See, that's a light thingy here. Now I'm going to go medium pressure. Now I'm going to go hard with it. And it just feels different in the hand when you do a harder pencil. Now these are like, the polys are nice to hold. So here, I'm going to do this. These feel very nice to hold as opposed to these which are harder to hold. So it's just a matter of feeling and when you use a harder pencil. So then I go medium with this. Then I go harder pressure. So this is the irritants and the poly chromos. So it's just a harder pencil because it feels harder in my hand. So, you know, I'm just using that as an example of what you do when you do that. So, you know, that's a 3-color blend. Someone asked me, well, what sharpener sharpens the irritants? I use, for the irritants, I use you know, Sharon, I didn't know the beginning. I didn't know that in the beginning either. So it's very different when you're learning pencils as opposed to, I also have a lot of sets. So, you know, I have a lot of different pencils in my collection. So everything is going to feel different when you use different pencils, have different feels. So. See, and then I'm using this as cedar wood. And we're coloring a picture out of Creative Haven Summer Scenes. So, and those books that I showed you guys in the beginning, the ones that I did brief little flip throughs of, they are. But Lindsay, if you can buy a full set of polys, I highly recommend that. I really do. And I actually earlier today was putting my Blicks in order, and I realized that a lot of the sets that I have duplicates. Or what I was doing with the Blicks actually was I actually went to the Dick Blick website and did a whole listing of all the colors that they had. So this is what I did with it. I made a complete list of these. Then now ended up taking a I like the irritants because they have they're different pencils and they're a nice complement to whatever. Oh, excuse me, guys. I need to take a little sip of I'm sorry, I had to take a sip of something. That's what happens when you have the throat be too dry. So what I did was I went through the whole listing of Dick Blick. They have all their pencils, all the colors for their Dick Blick Studio pencils. So then I made a list, and anything that isn't filled is a pencil that I need. So I took all the sets that I had and I took all the duplicates out, put them in my duplicate box, and then decided to, as I'm doing the chart, figure out what I need to complete the set. So the Dick Blick's about $1.05. The thing that I like about the irritants is that the colors are nice. And their pastel set is very muted, so you can kind of, if you want a more muted color, you can use the more muted color. If it happens to you, you like the more muted colors. Well, the thing about me, April, is if I'm missing colors, then I can know what I need to buy in open stock when I go to the store or when I go online to buy them. So that way I know what I need to buy for my sets. But also, I made a set for my luminance too. For my luminance 76, April. So that way I know what I need. So then, see, everything that's blank is something that I need to purchase for my set. So that way, I know what I need. So, and the luminance are expensive, and I want to complete the luminance. I want to complete my Dick Blick pencil sets. So that way, then that we can, that way I can have the pencils that I need to have. Like right now, I'm dealing with FSS. April knows what FSS is. It's known as full set syndrome. You know, before I get another pencil set, I want to complete what I have already. And you know, the other thing that I'm kind of a little is that some of the one pencil set that I own, they are not making that, or they have discontinued selling it on Amazon, and I was very fortunate enough to buy a second. Lori, that's why you buy. What I did was I bought a basic set of 36, and then I bought other sets like their portrait set, their landscape set. Now I still have to buy some pencils, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the gray set. And then I'm going to buy the rest of the set. I already have it in my Blick cart. So what you should do is what I did, which was make a basic. What I did is today I decided to make a chart of all the colors that they have from all their sets. And I'm going to buy each one individually. The grays I'm going to buy in the gray set because the gray set has 12 pencils in it. And that includes all the warm grays. So that's what I'm doing with that. And each of the Dick Blick pencils, because they're trying to make more money, Chica, it is the pencil companies like to make money. They figured this is a good way for people to spend money and make the money that way. So then I'm going to pull in the orange. I'm going to go over this lightly with orange. With my cadmium orange. Now, the thing about the cadmium orange is it's a really good pencil. If you want to add orange highlights to something and make it a little bit more orangey. So, and as you can see, this is the bamboo. And the bamboo is very, very light. I think, what did they have here? Let me see what I have in total for the colors. 20, 40. 80, 83, 86, 88, 91. 91 colors, and that's not including the blender, because they also have a binder. It is 91 colors in total. So then we put on the terracotta. It's 91 colors, but if you include the blender, it's 92. I think they should just include the whole friggin' set. You know, I think they should sell the set all together, and then, you know, it would make life so much easier. Because I had to put a lot of colors in my duplicate box. The thing I like about Blix online is that they have actually a bigger selection online than they actually do in their stores. So if you've ever gone into a Blix store, there are things that they don't have in their stores, but they might have on their online sale. I don't know why they think that, oh, it's more valuable for us to sell certain things online than it is to sell offline. So that's something that's different. Now someone would ask, well, why aren't you using tritone pencils for the wood? I don't like tritone pencils. I can't use tritone pencils for anything in the world. I had a set. I tried it. I didn't like it. But I did give it to somebody else who I knew would like them. And that's just a personal thing with me. You know, not everybody is going to like certain pencils. They're nice, actually. I did a, hold on, guys, while I go into my other room. This picture was all done. We did this in 2 streams. This was all done with Blick pencils, guys. This was all done with thick Blick pencils. Good luck on the interview, April. I hope you do well. That's what I'm thinking, Lindsay. It might be just store space, depending on which one you go to. So this is this, but I really like this picture a lot. This was done in hello, Katrina. How are you doing, Katrina? So that gives you an idea of how they are to use. So I did that in 2 streams. So I'm just saying that is one of the things that I did with Blix. You know, Blix take time. I will say this about any pencil. Every pencil is going to be slightly different to use as far as person and people. There are a lot of people that don't like Prismas. In New York, Lindsay, the stores range from size. My favorite Blix store to go to is the one on Bond Street. Off of it's the one off of Bleecker Street, actually, and Bond. I like that store because it's the biggest store that they have. It is also the flagship store. Nisi's here, everybody. I love Nisi. How are you, Nisi? You know, everybody knows Nisi as Dollar Diva, so. You missed the new books, Nisi. I had shown those in the beginning of the video. So those were nice. So I did come on a little early, guys, earlier than normal. So now we're just blending this in. Oh, this is Creative Haven Summer Scenes, DC. Are you heavy-handed, Lori, or are you light-handed? Because, and what is your budget for pencils? Because depending on what your budget is for pencils, you're going to be limited by what you can do and how big is your budget. Because different pencils are going to work differently with people who are heavy-handed as opposed to light-handed. You know, some of us are more heavy-handed than others, and some of us are lighter-handed than others. You know, I asked this because everybody is different with their pencils, Lori. So what is your budget, Lori? And are you heavy-handed or are you light-handed? Because everybody thinks they're light-handed until they use Prismas, and then they complain, oh, the Prismas are breaking too easily. You know, for heavy-handed Prisma, people who are heavy-handed, I don't recommend Prismas as your first pencil. Even though they are a more budget-friendly option for some people. You know, if you're heavy-handed, I will say Artesas should be your first pencil. If you're light-handed, it's going to be different for you, you know, because you can use a lot more pencils if you're light-handed than if you're heavy-handed. If you're heavy-handed, there's not going to be a whole lot for you to do. For heavy-handed colorists, I would recommend Polys, but if you can't afford Polys, I would recommend Artesas. Okay, for you, Lori, then I would recommend Delis because they're under $30. They're a good pencil. Do you like? I would recommend Delis. I would not recommend Polys to you until you have more money because Polys are worth the investment, in my opinion. Delis are good pencils. Thank you, Nisi. So that's what I would recommend for you. Now I'm just going to turn this around so I have an easier time. You know what? Just going to put the yellow on it now. Now I'm going to put the orange on it. I'm going really light with my orange. Now, some people would say, well, you could do this with tritones, but the problem with me and tritones was they did not work the way that I expected them to work. Not to say anything bad about tritones, because there are people who can work with tritones beautifully, and it works for them, but it didn't work for me. So that's just a personal thing, you know what I mean? It's getting a little dull, so I have to sharpen with my Tagal. See, Sammy? See, Katrina, I never was a layerer until I started doing skin tone. And then I started to apply those methods that I learned how to do skin tone after watching several people that I like to watch and enjoy, like Anne, Jen, Sammy, who else did a thing with them? Someone else did something with someone else did something with layering and then layering with houses. There was someone who did something with houses and stuff, and it was really beautiful. Forget who it was. Was it you, Nisi? What are you... Oh, thank you, Dollar Diva. You know, I have an assortment of pencils, but if you're a person who likes wax pencils, I would recommend Black Widows because they're very affordable. And, you know, you can do a lot with them. Creative Haven August. So... And I'm going to show you something, guys. When you go and you want to be lighter, you hold the pencil farther away from you. If you want it to be medium, you go like this. If you want it heavier, you go like that. But the farther away the pencil is from you, the lighter you go. So, normally I would be doing this in my sketchbook if I could find my sketchbook at the moment. But of course, whenever I need my sketchbook, I can never find it. And this is the first picture that I'm actually coloring in this book. There are some creative... I have that one too, Nisi. You guys are making me cry, guys. See, here's something from that I colored. We did this in 2 streams. We did this mostly with the Central Monte pencils, which were like $10. So this is the Country Charm coloring book that Nisi's talking about. And then I did this page in I used for the river the Tombow irritants, and for this part I used Tombows too. So I used a lot of my Tombows for that picture, for the water. So I could do that, so I could get a nice muted color in that. Am I coloring in any other pages right now in this book? Let's see. See, I like things that you could use. You guys want to see what I'm doing for August? Actually, I'm actually coloring something in one of my Japanese coloring books for August. Now, this is something called Monet de Berhat. Now, for August, this is Shalene's color along. I am using Artesa's Tombows. I use Tombows and I use Polly's to do the fireplace. August is co-hosted by Shalene of Coloring Book Nook, and Nisi, our own Nisi, Dollar Diva, is hosting that. So this is a Japanese coloring book. So this is what I'm using for August. As you can tell, I use fine liners for the little pink thingy, and then I'm using Arteza for the background. That, and I'm also using Staedtler fine liners. And some gel pens for the gold. You guys don't really see the gold unless I bring up the gold. You can't really see the gold, but it's there. This is something I'm doing for August. So that's what I'm using for Mohet Ner de Bois here. That's what I'm using for that. So back to this where see, but when you do a 3-color blend, it's a lot easier, 3-color layering. But remember, guys, it always helps if you do this when you're layering. Light, medium, dark. I find that if I do light, medium, dark, got my combination. Well, that's when I do 3-color combination. So I found that when I started doing skin tones, I started with only 1, and then I learned how to work my way up to 2, then 3. Now I'm up to like 4 or 5, depending on the paper. Also, guys, paper depending on the paper you are using, that is what's going to affect how you color your books. How you layer them. Oh, hold on, let me show you what I'm using. I showed what I was using. This is Polychromos. Polychromos. Tombow Irritant. So I'm using a combination of different pencils depending on what you like. So then I take my darkest color, which is the terracotta. And also, guys, don't be afraid to experiment, because what I'm using is 2 colors from one set, and then I'm using other pencils from another set. And sometimes they'll blend really well. I'm finding that the irritants work really well with my Prismas and my Polys. Some pencils work better with others than other playmates. Thank you. I like coloring houses. I never used to like coloring houses, Lori, and now I'm actually finding that I like to color houses again. This just looks a little too light for me. And see, the sketch paper is different than this paper. This is a plain printer piece of paper, but I'm just using it as an example because I don't have my sketchbook with me, so. You know, the thing I like too, guys, if you guys really want to see how a blend works, you take 3 random colors. Then you do your light color, the dark color, and the dark color in there, and then you can do a blend like that. So that should be pretty good. So that's that. But Then I use this darker color, which is the cedar wood. Thank you, Laurie. So the thing with the Tombos is that they have different sets. So don't worry, guys. I have backup pencils of the Tombos. Now, some people will be saying, well, what they use for houses is they use the tritones. I don't like the way they work, but that's a personal thing. You know, everybody's going to tell you something works differently for them. And you know, that's the other thing that I love about ColorTube is that we all have different tastes in books. And some of us sometimes see a book and go, ooh, I want that book. I want that book. And you see, I will tell you, out of all the Creative Haven books that I like so far, the Country Charm one is my favorite by far as well. I like that book. You know, I learn a lot from watching different channels. And, you know, one person that I love watching their channel is Sammy and Dee Dee. I learn a tremendous amount of watching from Sammy and Dee Dee. You know, and Dee Dee does a lot with watercolor, and I haven't gotten to that level of watercolor yet, or acrylics. You know, everybody does something different with their picture. I'm just simply turning it so it's an easier way for me to color my page, so I can just... If you color hard, you're going to get wax. And you're going to use up your point faster. You know, skin tone used to be hard for me. Different people do different things on ColorTube too. Like, you know, I love what Sammy does in Momo Girl. I haven't done many pictures in that book because I'm kind of scared. I haven't done a whole lot in my Serene, but that book is just absolutely stunning, Serene. You know, and then the other thing that nobody talks about is, you know, a lot of people love the international books, and some people say, well, the international books are very expensive, but, you know, people have to remember, those books are nice and they're expensive, but, you know, I also tell people sometimes, wait, don't always buy them right away. You guys can't afford them. Like, one book that I wanted for a while, but I waited to get it, was Forest Girl. But what happened with Forest Girl was there was somebody, a seller, actually decided to sell the book as a third-party seller on Amazon. And it was a lot cheaper for me to buy it that way than it wasn't. Because sometimes if you go online and you see a beautiful Japanese or Korean book on Etsy, look around and see if you can find it on Yes Asia, Amazon Japan for a little bit less money, because sometimes those are options. Also wait, because sometimes they put books on sale on Etsy, so wait for books. You know, layering was something that I had to learn how to do. It didn't come naturally to me. So, I just want people to put that out there if you guys are thinking about that. So then we got this lovely thing here. Now I'm going to put the bamboo. I'm going to move this down a little bit. Oh, I didn't know you could buy it as a PDF. That's another option, guys, something that a lot of people don't talk about. Um, you know that book, Forest World from Fabrica Fantasy? I bought that as a PDF file because it was actually a lot cheaper for me to buy it as a PDF than buy it as a print book. I buy a lot of books PDF file. Now we put the Polychromos orange. I'm putting about a medium pressure and then I'm building it up, this layer. Wow, I didn't know that you could even do that. I know Jade Summer has a lot of their books. The Jade Summer people have a lot of her books as PDFs, so I'll have to remember that, Charlotte. So what color should we do the window still? Yellow, blue, green? The house is done. Yay! I like Bennett Klein because he also, if you're a member of Bennett Klein's Facebook group, guys, he is also doing that's terrible because Momo is beautiful. Momo is one of my favorite books. I would never. You guys want blue? I'll do blue. But I have to find a blue that's, I have to figure out where my combos are at the moment. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to use, there they are. Now I have to be very careful how I move this out because everything's going crazy. This is Momo Girl. This one, right? It's what you're talking about with Girls with a Poem? Momo Girl? Blue. I like to put my pencils in a way in the case when I here's one I did, and I did all blending with this one. This was all blending. This was several pencils, so I like this one actually because I did a background, I did skin tone with this one. I really liked how this one page came out. So that's one of my favorite ones with the red hair that I ever did. So that's one of my favorites that I ever did in that book. So I think that may be one of my favorites of all time that I've done. So then this is turquoise. And that's from the Irritant. See, Sammy, I'm not using blunt tips. So, and those will be blue. You shouldn't ever print out anything that's stolen, Charlotte, because that hurts the artist, you know? And it's a shame when that happens, that people steal things and then they do that, because you're hurting the artist making money. I also have my fan blowing, which is good for us. So, can everybody see the picture? Fine, because I hope they shut them all down, because, you know, the girl, Momo girl worked really hard on that book, from what I understand. And it's a beautiful book, but I heard she's coming out with another one soon, so. You know, it's just a shame that people would steal somebody else's hard work. I want to thank you all so much for coming to the stream and helping support this channel. You know, a lot of times, you know, I think one of the things that I like about this community is that you guys have helped me deal with my social anxiety. I used to not like talking to people or dealing with people. But then, you know, I found a community that had people who were interested in the same things that I like to do, you know? And we began talking about things, so. You know, the thing about Creative Haven books, and this is part of Creative Haven August, is, you know, their books are very nice. If they don't send you some form of proof, Nisi, of the thing to distribute, then you know it was illegal. Thank you, Lindsay. And this color is turquoise in the Tombow Irritant. So I will call out the colors as I use them. See, this is what I keep my Tombows in. See, I keep them in a little T-Moy case. It holds up to 100 pencils, so that's why I like them. I'm trying to look for a nice green. Then I'll look for a nice red or orange. No, you know what? We need to do that in, I think, purple or... with flowers. I don't color fast, Dollar, actually. I really don't. It just was a lot of this house was, some of it was done off screen, some of it was done on the screen, so. I have to sharpen the irritants because I didn't think I would be working with them. I don't work with them as much as I would like to work with them. You know, everybody colors at a different speed. Little pink flowers. Let me see what this is going to color like. That's good. It's a good green. I like to always see what the tint is going to be of a color. So I'm looking forward to a lot of shows coming back this fall. One of the shows that I'm looking for, well, two things I'm looking forward to is the new season. Is Outlander. Nisi, have you ever seen how many pictures I color in a month? But there's one picture that's taking me an incredibly long time to do. There have been pictures that take me a month or 2 months, and then sometimes there are pictures like that I never finish. I color more than that. I do a monthly recap of my pictures, so. Now I've also been cleaning up things in my room, getting rid of things that I don't need anymore, you know. So I haven't been doing as much as I used to do. But my whole thing, though, when I get new coloring book, I'm not going to be getting as much as I used to. I think I'm going to actually be slowing down a little bit with my coloring books because I'm running out of space to hold them all. And it becomes very frustrating because then I don't have enough space to put my reading books in a place. So it becomes different for everybody, you know. I did film an Authors in the City book haul. As some of you know, that was the event I attended. Also, next Saturday, we're going to be streaming next Saturday, which is the 25th, which is the stream-a-thon. I will be streaming at 6 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. because Jen from Reading with Pugs is streaming at 5, and I don't want to undercut her. So I think it's better for me to go at 6 than it would be if I went at 5. So I don't cut into her audience. You can see I'm doing this. I think Anne did this picture last year for Creative Haven Month, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. This also has nice pictures, and a lot of people don't. Is Shalene on at 6? What are you talking about? Oh, Shalene decided that she'd rather give that spot to me. But I know Shalene will be on at 6 today. And she'll have tea and news later today. You know, I love Shalene. You know, everybody has different time schedules. Everybody has different schedules. So, but the idea of the stream-a-thon is to actually make us color, I think, a little bit more than what we would normally color. Also, it's a good way to find new color tubers. Reconnect with some old ones that we haven't seen in a while. I'm kind of excited because Jen hasn't streamed in a really long time. So I'm kind of, you know, interested to see what she's going to color from or what new book she is, because my favorite enablers are Coloring Queen. I love anything. Coloring Queen. She does amazing flips, Coloring Queen. You know, and that's one of the channels that I find a lot of my Korean and Asian books in there. You know, it's because of Coloring Queen that I found so many Asian coloring books and other coloring books that were out there that I would have never known about before. So it was because of her that I managed to get Mon Noir de Merhe and other books that would not have been known to me otherwise. So that's pink. I wish I could pinch the camera like I do on my regular camera. And this color is lettuce green. Coloring in the dark has different flip throughs than most of us do, Lily the cat, because she does different things, you know. She does a lot of interesting flips and does a lot of interesting books that people wouldn't know about. And all the books that I showed that I got that were new today, I remember one year they had Outlander come on before Game of Thrones. And I remember one week it was Heartbreak City for me. Game of Thrones. No, Outlander broke my heart. And I remember one week it was a terrible week because it was the week that Claire lost a baby. And then Game of Thrones, it was the episode where Hoda died. And I was like, oh my God, what a terrible week of television. It was like, they wanted to break my heart in the worst way possible that week on TV. So. Coloring Queen is great for flip throughs. If you ever want a real channel for flip throughs, she's great for that. I love Dee Dee because Dee Dee shows you a lot of things that you can do with books that you didn't know you could do. I also like her watercolor stuff. I love Sammy because Sammy gives great tricks and tips for you to these are tips that she uses, and you can use them or not. It's up to you, but I love Sammy's channel a lot. I also love Niecy's channel because I find Niecy humorous. And fun to do. And I also like what people do with acrylic paint as well. I think everybody brings something different to the community and something different to the table. And I think people forget that a lot, that everybody brings something different. Put the little green with pink there. Well, I can do that on the bottom too. I can make that the same on the bottom. So let me do that on the bottom too. You see, Sammy, I'm not using blunt tips. See, Sammy? No blunt tips. They're not blunt yet. Sammy's in lurk mode, I love Anne's channel. Oh, Niecy. I was supposed to go and visit my relatives, but something happened, and I'm not sure what happened, but I think there was a falling out, and now we're not going to visit relatives on the 25th like we had planned to, so I'm happy I can do the stream-a-thon. Well, the stream-a-thon is also a good way to get to know new people in the community or people that you haven't seen before. I remember last time we did the stream-a-thon, I found 5 new channels, Sammy, that I didn't know existed because of the stream-a-thon. Yep, November there's one. I know Clara McCulver is coming out with one. Does anybody know what the title of the new Clara McCulver one is? Someone was telling me it's for something. Why? What's horrible? When families fight? You know, when families fight, it's a horrible thing, but sometimes in life, you know, you gotta put it aside when something tragic happens. You know, usually when something bad happens, you'll put that aside. I think she moved Erin, and right now she's going through a lot of things with the moving, and she still has to finish unpacking her stuff. So I think that's part of the reason why we don't get as many videos from Erin as we used to. But I do love her channel as well, so I don't know really anything that's going on. I know she was moving a while back ago, and then she did a video, I think, a few weeks ago, and then there hasn't been one for a while, so I hope everything is okay with her. And you know, a lot of what I did on my channel in the beginning, I look at my first videos and I'm like, oh, I thought these were good. I'm like, oh, this isn't very good. You know, you ever feel like that when you look at your old videos and you're like, I don't like this video. These aren't very good videos. Thank you. That green happens to be lettuce green from the Tombow Irritants. Everybody's allowed to participate in the color-a-thon, I think. It's just, there's going to be a lot of channels and there's going to be a lot of variety in what people do. So I guess it's up to everybody where they want to visit, and that's okay, because you know what? You can always watch people's streams back. Is what I say. You know, for the streamathons that I am not able to catch that day, I'll probably catch them back and watch them as recordings. You know, I watch a lot of Sammy's videos because she streams during the weekdays when I'm working. And, you know, it's hard for me to catch everybody's streams, you know? I try to catch everybody. It's hard to do streams for everybody, but, you know, we can always watch them back. You know, I'm really liking coloring buildings and house scenes and pastoral scenes like this. I think I'm in the mood because, you know, it does a lot. But, you know, I also watch back some of Dee Dee's streams too, because Dee Dee streams when I'm working as well. You know, I like watching Kate. I like watching Anne. I like watching a lot of videos. I still have a lot of videos to catch up. I still have to watch some of Zoe Archer's videos, which I have not managed to watch in a while. And another thing, guys, please watch the ads when people, the thing about this is watch the ads for the videos that come up. Now, I know some people click away from the ads, but watch those ads because those are actually what helps channels too. Because those ads help make us money on our videos, so. But you can always watch them back and watch them as recordings, and you can always comment on the videos that you see. I love what Sammy does on her videos. So now we're done with that. I think I'm going to make that yellow. I think I'm going to make this yellow or salmon pink. Where did I put my two? I swear to God, I'm losing my mind with everything I own. We're going to add a color. What, I mean, 5-minute ads are ridiculous. But I understand why they're there. And this is yellow ochre from a Lyra pencil. Yes, these are Lyra Rembrandt Polycolors. I don't like that pig ad either. But you can't control what ads get put on your videos. Just keep that in mind, guys. You can't always control what ads get put on your videos. Yes, that was horrible, the week of Outlander and Game of Thrones tragedies. I was like, what is up with this? That's nice to have an ad blocker, but, you know, it's how YouTubers make money, actually, Millie. Well, most videos are not 3 hours. The only time they're 3-hour videos are when you're watching someone like, when you're watching 3-hour streams. But I will tell you something, guys. Most of us don't intend to go 3 hours. Sometimes we think, oh, we'll be there for an hour, 2 hours. So keep that in mind. And these are my Rembrandt poly colors. I've never heard of anything so ridiculous as a 3-hour ad. Now these actually work really well on certain paper, and then on these pencils work really well on certain papers, and then on other papers these don't work well. And sometimes these work better as a layering pencil than they do as a plain pencil. So these are kind of weird. These pencils are kind of weird with the way they work. Because on certain paper they work beautifully. Like on this paper they're working beautifully today. On other paper they do not work well. I don't know why. So every paper is going to be slightly different. What color should I make this green? Dark, light? I'm thinking a light green because it's summertime. But I think I want to do that in my polys. Because my polys have a much more vivid thing. As you will see that I use many different color and things in my thing. I like this green. And this green in the polychromos is called grass green. This is grass green. This is from Polychromos. Thing about this color, the colors in the polys, is that they're very vibrant. The thing with the Tombos is that they are actually very muted for color. These little flowers have to be pink and green, the same pink and green as that, because I like to be universal. I like to try and be similar in some of the things that I do. Just saying. Sometimes then I watch a video back and then I'll write down every color that I used in the picture in one of my little notebooks. I need to start keeping a notebook of everything I use. Or I need to start using a sticky note when I do my videos, because sometimes I forget what colors I use, even though we may have done it on a live stream. So this color is grass green. Trying my best not to. Now, some people say, well, if you had markers, you could just color over everything. You know, markers I have to be in the mood for, and I have to use certain paper to color in markers, so. Marker requires a different brand altogether. You guys ever have books that you don't color in all that often? You know, the thing was that the reason why I like Creative Haven is because I don't color in these books too often. So when I was asked to co-host this event, I was really happy because this will give me a chance to color in a books that I don't color in too often. And if you're on a budget and someone asks me, well, what kind of book should I go? I go to Creative Haven. They have nice books, nice paper, and not for a lot of money, and they won't hurt your budget. You know, a lot of times, you know, we look at all these pretty books and we say, oh, I want that, I want that. But sometimes it's better to work in what we have than go, ooh, I want that, I want that, I want that. Sometimes I like to go into a book that I haven't gone into for a while. Okay, what did I use to color? What did I use not to color in this? You know, books are going to be as different as the people who color in them. Because who's here still? Guys, remember to give this video a thumbs up, because that helps us with the like things here. So who's still here? You know, what? You know, I'm reading this book, this Space Odyssey book. It's pretty good. I should have it finished probably by the end of this weekend. Last night I read like about 50 pages of it. So I was really happy that I started reading again. You know, I go through these little things where I read and then I stop reading because real life interferes with me reading. Oh, I color way too much. I color more than I read now. And you know, the other thing I'm finding that I like is I like the color at water brush pens. I'm not getting my teaser ones yet, so I cannot really compare the two yet until I get my teaser ones, so. Thank you, Dala. And this is a polychromos that we're using. So what have we used? Polys, irritants, and Lyras. And still no Prismas. Robin, you're a speed reader. You're like a reading machine. I wish I could read like you. I used to be able to read like 3 or 4 books a week, but now I'm lucky if I even read 1 book a week. We're getting a little bit of a blunt tip, so I need to sharpen my pencil. See, it's a nice sharp tip. Good for you, Robin. I wish I did that. Do that. soon as I finish a book, I start writing the review because no, it will take me a few hours, or sometimes I'll get interrupted or my mother wants to use the computer. Right now we're only sharing one computer because mother was supposed to get her own computer and never got it because she was, you know, things came up and then her budget changed, and you know, there were a lot of emergency things that happened with the house that we hadn't planned on, like our shower and our sink in the bathrooms were not working. We couldn't turn off the water, so we had to get a plumber, and they charged my mother an insane amount of money to fix the shower. They still have not come back and fixed the sink properly. We only have hot water still running in the sink, so we're not too happy about that. And they charged my mother $176 per hour for work. I don't think that's right, but I really like this green. Yeah, $176 an hour they charged. So that was insane. And I still owe my mother $200 for the trip on LA. In September, I'm taking a trip to LA to visit my niece, Hazel. She's going to be a year old. I have not met the kid because I just have had bad timing. You know, when the kid was 3 months old, it was, you know, I missed Hazel's 3-month-old celebration because it was tax season and I could not get away. So my mother said just pay me for the plane trip, so I've already paid her down half of what I owe her. So I owe her another $200. This is the price of living in this is the price sometimes you pay for living in the city. See, look how green that came out. Like, you guys, like, I'm looking at this on camera and I'm liking the green tremendously. In the picture. It is insane to charge that much money. But what are you going to do? You need your... Yes, I live in New York, Lori. But that's what you're going to pay when you live in the city. Because, honest to God, you need these things fixed. And, you know, it's kind of like hostage negotiations. They got you where you're going to pay them no matter what. I'm going to take this little sticky off. That sticky was just there to remind me where I am in the book. Or the faggots, as they call it. And in order for my mother to get them to even come, because they didn't want to come, and they said, oh, they might not come, my mother had to actually ask the super in this building, did they come, did they not come? So later on today, I'm going to release the Authors in the City book haul. You know, I think I got 19 books in total from that event. So I did pay quite a hefty price for those books. Some of them got a little damaged by the water, but that's okay. I don't mind. It happens. We made that nice and green. I love green. You can make your greens really pretty and nice. I also put up the brightness of my phone today so I could see them much more vividly. And this pink is called Orchid Pink in the Tombows. And I did film the flip-throughs of those 2 new Creative Haven books that I did. So that should be good. Thank you, Charlotte. You too. Take care of yourself. And then we go back to our lettuce green. Bye, Sammy. Thank you for coming. I know it must be late by where you are, so thank you for coming, Sammy. Just gonna add a little bit of green here. These are just little tiny little leaves that are sticking out in the bushes. Excuse me guys while I take a little sip of something to drink. It is hot and I need to keep myself hydrated. So then you get the nice little pinks in there. Hello, Watch Me Carve. I love your channel. Another part of the thing that I did not color. There's always something you miss in a picture. I always miss something in a picture, you know that? Now I'm gonna do red. Hello, Mama Megs. I don't think I've seen you here before, Mama Megs. Welcome, Mama Megs. We're still streaming. We're gonna stream as much as we can. Well, until my phone says it's dying, but I have the charger in, so I don't. And this is from the Lyris. This is Dark Carmine. And we're coloring from Creative Haven, Summer Scenes. I started streaming earlier than normal, so. Yeah, very pretty flowers there. This is my Lyra pencil. I've used Tombow Irritants in this picture. We've used Lyra Polycolors and Tombow Irritants, Polychromos, Tumble Irritants, Polychromos, and Lyras in this. And I see part of it that I didn't get. Always the little things that you don't see that when you're coloring, but when you go back, hello Karen, Mama Megs. I still have Nisi in here as my moderator, so that's good. I still have Robin in here. So we still have some mods. That's a good thing. You know, I want to say a big thank you to all of you guys who are still here, because honest to God, I don't think this channel would work without any of you guys being here to sub and to help support this channel big time. Let me see this in there. Thinking this needs to be a little red. I'm gonna make that blue. So what are some of the coloring books that you guys are looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Johanna's new one, World of Flowers. I'm also looking forward to the new Clara Makova book. I just heard about that one not too long ago. So what are you all looking forward to? Nisi, are you looking forward to any new books, reading books, coloring books, or anything in particular, new TV series? I'm also looking forward to the next season. I did hear that, but I don't think it's going to be called Girls with a Poem. I think it's going to be called something else. I think it's going to be called, it's going to become called something else. Not Girls with a Poem, but it's going to have a different title. But it's going to be very similar to Girls with a Poem. I didn't know Millie Murata was coming out with a new book. I'm also looking forward to this upcoming season of American Horror Story. I do happen to love the series deeply. And I'm thinking of getting a fixative. But the problem with getting fixatives for me is that the fixatives that I have seen or smelled have really bad odors, and I get really sick from smelling the odors. So I might get what Sammy had the other day on her channel to see if it will work for me. I'm really liking the way that the red is coming out on this picture. I think that's what Sammy got, was the Spectre one. I love Johanna Basford books, but the thing with Johanna's is sometimes I'll start, I'll stop, I'll start, I'll stop. Bye, Nisi. You know, you stop, you start. So that's the problem with me and her books. So did I do all the little red thingies? See, this is going to be hard for me to color. I'm just going to color this little red here. You'll just understand what I'm doing. Spots red that I colored it red. I might actually color this whole tree red. I'll get a little creative. You know, and you're allowed to break the rules. Hey, Tazia, how are you? Anne's daughter is here. Well, I should say future daughter-in-law. You're not actually her daughter yet, so. Yay, Dev is here, everybody. Dev is awesome. If you guys don't know Modernist, he's awesome. He has started a channel. If you go to Modern Colorist and click his name and then click the 3 dots, you can find his channel. He's awesome. His channel is amazing, by the way, guys. So Tazia is here. I love Tazia's late night streams. So there we go. And that color in the Lyras is Venetian red. So hopefully that gets you some people, Dev. This color is burnt ochre. It's okay, Nisi, go. You can always watch back the playback of this when it's done. I think we may end up finishing this in Christmas. Just because Prismus has the final set of colors that I need. So. You don't see many guys, you know, do color things, but I think John is doing something this week, the Bibliophilus color thingy. He's done some really nice stuff in the Curiosity Shop. Or is it the Sweet Shop? I don't remember which book is he coloring from, because it gets hard to remember what everybody's coloring from. You know, there's so many of us now. It gets hard to keep track of everybody's channels after a while. No problem, Chica. You enjoy your day. We're gonna go with the red violet, guys, for the bottom colors. This is red violet, is a purple color. I don't like that purple. Sorry guys, I don't like that purple. That's too purpley. Let's see if the magenta works better. I don't like that purple at all. That's a much better purple. It's still too dark in my opinion. You know what, guys? I'm going to make the rest of it pink because then, honest to God, I don't like that color. I don't like that color at all. I don't like the magenta. I'm going to go back into my Tombos. In my Tombos, I have beautiful colors. You know what? Let's do something very, very different. And I'm going to bring out something very, very special. Finish up the picture. Rose pink. Does anybody know what these are? These are whole binds. Robin should know what these are. Your puppy doesn't like storms? Stay on, Della. Please stay on, Nisi. Your dog doesn't like the storms? What a... I thought most puppies didn't mind rain. Does anybody know if, because I keep getting Facebook notifications that Ann keeps posting, so if somebody could tell her that I'm live. I thought Goldies like storms. Or yellow labs. These are my Holbeins, which I love coloring with my Holbeins, but I don't color with them. I don't bring them out too often. You know, I'm like at the point, Nancy, where I have way too many books now, and I'm having a problem finding room for them. I'm making room wherever I can. I'm putting things in boxes. So then sometimes I have a problem finding them later on, going, where are they? And then sometimes this leads to me buying 2 copies of a book, and then I'm like, oh my. And then I find them later. So for me, it's becoming a space issue. It is so hot and humid by where I live, guys. I'm not even joking when I tell you that. It is so hot and humid. Oh, Tazia, that's funny. My mother won't let me get any more bookcases. If I had more bookcases, I would be neater and have more room. Tazia, I have a box full of in my other room, which you guys don't see because this is the loft area. I actually have a box full of books. I have a box, yeah, I have a large box where I put books that I get, but I haven't actually done the flip throughs. And until I do those flip throughs, I cannot color in those books until I do the flip throughs of them. Did I do that all? Good. Cobalt green. Where's my sharpener? I'm gonna make this green. So I'm gonna put this to be green. Nisi, refresh it. What do you have the HP on, Nisi? Because my video ain't buffering. I think we're going to be on longer than I normally am on. I'm nearing 2 hours, guys, actually. Trying to look for the darker green. I think I have a darker green in my polys. This is always the problem when you're trying to figure out what you're coloring with. I have lots of greens, lots of blues. My video's coming out clear. How is the video, guys, coming back? But you guys, this is chrome oxidized green. And this is a polychromos. I'm glad to hear that, Tazia, because, you know, different people have different resolutions, and I'm not sure because it's coming out clear on my end. And I've been going almost for 2 hours, guys, so that's a sign that this picture was far more complicated than I thought it was when I started it. You know, sometimes we see a picture and we think, oh, that's going to be a great picture. Good, it's clear, so I just think sometimes the resolution needs to be adjusted. Hi, Stephanie. This is green. I like to always make the greens stand out a little bit. That's good. I think this is going to be really interesting to do, because I think this is leaves and this is browns. I noticed that I didn't get all the brown in there. Anybody remember what brown I used on that? I'm trying to remember, I think it was burnt ochre? No, but, oh well, we can always cover that up with making it a nice blue sky. This is sky blue in the Lyras. This is sky blue in the Lyras. Sometimes I have to sharpen them. And I'll tell you one thing about these pencils is they don't look anything like the base tells you they're going to look like. I like blue skies for whatever reason. See, they're going to make this into leaves and leaves and leaves. See? And I'm going to use the chrome oxidized green as dark greens. Nobody's used to make me crazy, but they don't make me crazy as they once used to. I never have had to color heavy-handed with the Black Widows, Tazia. But you know, every pencil works differently for everybody, so it may work differently for you than it may work for me. I love Nisi. I love you, Nisi. You make me laugh. I don't know why it's buffering, because it's not buffering here or anywhere else, Nisi. Everybody else says their resolution is fine, but you may have to go to 720. What resolution are you on? Because if you go to the bottom of your screen here, you'll see a little gear, and that'll tell you, and then it'll tell you quality. So you go up to 720p. P. And there is a beautiful green that I have, but it's in my Prismas. No matter what I do, I always have to go back to my Prismas, guys. Yes, we're taking out the one thing I told myself I would not try to do, but unfortunately I need the green in it. There's a beautiful, beautiful green in it. Is that the spring green? My Prismas get really tiny and little. My Prismas get extremely little. And this is spring green. Why are you using a wooden spoon to type, Nisi? You can see my Prismas are little. I use my Prismas until I cannot hold them anymore. Elvira. I think I used everything under the book almost in this. I think we're almost done with the photo. I think all I have left to do is the sky and this tree. Just use whatever brown I have on me. Shorter than this? Prismas are a good pencil, but a lot of people don't know how to handle them, and they have a problem with them because when mine get really short, they break, and then I don't use them anymore, but I do have replacements, so. But I try not to use my replacements till those pencils are ready to be replaced. Oops. That wasn't that. Oh, we'll just say we messed up that, but that's okay. We'll make it work. You know who does amazing work, and I see their pictures, and I'm like, I can't color that fast, even if I tried to color that fast, is Chris Chang. Now, they do beautiful work, but I'm like, I'm always amazed by their speed coloring. I'm like, I sometimes have to literally slow down. When I watch Chris Chang's videos, I literally have to put the way that they color in slow-mo, because it's like, I'm like, I can't do that fast. You ever feel that way when you watch Chris Chang's videos or Julie's Passion for Coloring? Well, I love them, by the way, but they go so fast with their pictures. I'm like, stop! I need to play catch up! Very carefully. I know. I'm just like, I can't figure out how they're doing that to make their videos faster. Oh my god. Literally, you have to go to the button and you have to do something that's really slow. I have an app for it. You click the gear button, Gail, and select playback. You change the speed setting on the gear to get it to be slow-mo. Thank you, Robin and Tazia, for that. I forgot how you do it, but they are there to help. I don't think me and Shalene are the speed colorists, Lori. Really, I think me and Shalene are like medium colorists. I mean, if you look at Chris and Julie, they do an amazing job with their pictures, but there's like, they speed up their videos, and I'm like, I could never do that. I look at Dee Dee, and I think Dee Dee's incredibly fast with what she does. Like when I'm home and not on camera, I'm actually even slower. Actually, see, I like how this green came out on the bottom. I actually had to play around today with the phone before I came on. I wanted to actually go on even earlier, but I was having problems with the phone. And I had to play around, like switch the phone angle like 4 times before it would give me landscape. I don't know why. You know, I have no problem filming videos, but when I'm doing lives, I'm actually doing my lives at my desk. And when you guys see me do my flips or my color and chat videos, those are actually filmed with the camera. You know, this I have to do all the greenery. I don't know if we, you know, if you look at, what picture was it that we were doing on a stream, but I never finished doing it in a stream, was, oh, what was that Doria's songbook that we did? And that is taking me an incredibly long time to do. Because eventually, I think in October, we will go back to that picture. And I will try to finish the last of that picture, because that has been taking us, that took us a few streams. I also want to go back to the house that we never finished in October, because October I don't have a theme, you know. So those are some of the pictures that I want to go back, because we started those on stream, so I feel like we should finish those on stream. So the Night Voyage was the name of the thing, and Jewelry Box. We have the house to do in the Jewelry Box to still do on the stream. So yeah, Sammy constantly threatens to send the pencil police after me. You know, and I also tell people who are beginning a coloring channel, be you. Do what you feel is right with the channel, because it's your channel. You should make it yours, you know. A lot of people don't understand that, you know, a lot of my early videos were not good, but, you know, I didn't have a video camera. I had a flip when I started, you know. One thing I tell people, use what you have. If you have an old camera, an old flip camera, an old video camera, or you even have, if you have an iPhone or a cell phone, you can do this if you have an iPhone. You know, if you have a phone, you can do this. So, and the iPhone has a really, I will say this iPhone, which is the iPhone 7 that I have, the phone before this I had was a 4.5. Hey, it worked. And you know, me and my mother switched to an unlimited plan because our needs changed. And you'll find that your needs change as you get different things, and your living, things change, your living situations change, you know. Just making sure that I didn't miss any white spots. You know, it's hard because sometimes you think you're done with a picture and then you realize, oh wait, I missed a little something. And of course I missed a little something over here. Let's see, did I miss anything else in the picture? I think I did not miss anything in the picture at all. Tazia, if I could do all night, I would, but my mother sleeps at night, so I don't think I could. You know, you have to remember that I live with my mother and she likes to sleep at night, so I don't think I would do it. I think I've only ever done a late night coloring once. I also, guys, ordered a sketch box. I have a sketch box coming for September, and I also have the palette box. So if they come at the same time, we can do a box comparison, and I know a lot of you guys would like to do that. I don't think I could because I live with my mother, Tazia, and she likes her street sleep, and so she gets very upset if I interrupt her sleep. So that's something that, you know, it's different, guys. So if you guys like the picture, let me know, because I think it's come out really nice. I could not do 8 hours, Tazia. It would kill me to do 8 hours. So I think this came out very nice, guys. So thank you guys so much for this, for coming to the stream. So I think we will end it there, and I will end up taking a picture of this. So thank you guys so much for coming. I gotta put the little sticky on it so I know where it is. I like to put the stickies on this so that way when I do the monthly wrap up, I know which picture I completed. So thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. I know you guys wanted the angel, but I felt like doing this because it was an easy, like I like this picture and I had started doing it off camera and I wanted to finish it on camera. So thank you guys so much. So have a great rest of the weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.